So you're good.
You guys see me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Facebook and LinkedIn on too?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's not let me turn this off. Should I turn off my background?
We're good.
Okay. Yeah. What you see on here, like I have like the green screen set up, so it's like my
Okay.
Zoom green screen. It's messed up, but
You're good.
it's still decent. All right, cool. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will probably keep this brief, like 15, 20 minutes. I'm probably gonna say some wild shit, and it was gonna be like a lot cooler if there were like 100 people. So it might be. No, I'm just kidding. It won't be awkward, but we'll have fun. For those who don't know me, so I actually went to UF in Gainesville. I worked in Orlando for Disney, starting out, and then I've been in Tampa for almost 2 years. So I love Tampa, by the way. Do you guys plan on staying? Anybody want to stay in Tampa? Like, yeah, a few. So I went to UF in Gainesville. No one wants to stay there. I feel like you stay there, you're kind of weird. Like some people did. And I'm like, what are you doing there? It's like cows, and then there's like UF. But Tampa's cool, good spot. I think it's good for me to maybe come here. Maybe you'll like me or hate me after. But I think there's so many presentations, like so many like college stuff. Like you guys have recruiters and people come in. Okay, because I experienced that. I went through it, and I think it'd be cool if you guys. I mean, there's so few people. Like, you can definitely lock in. Like I thought there was gonna be people on their laptops, like watching bad stuff or like TikTok or something, like on the auditorium. So this is good. You guys will actually be able to lock in. But I'll say some stuff and present some things that most people probably don't. Like most recruiters probably won't tell you, or like most like presenters or business people that you guys have, just because my path and my businesses and stuff are so probably unconventional compared to traditional routes, traditional businesses. So I think it'd be good maybe to see like a crazy young person, like psycho guy like me, that is not the traditional, like, kind of go to corporate and then work your way up. And then, when you're old and wrinkly, then you can be like happy and successful. I think for me, I knew at a young age I wanted different. I don't know about you guys, like maybe you feel weird, like kind of weird, like you don't want to just be like everybody else and kind of just do what everybody else is doing. For me, I kind of knew at a young age, like no one in my family had ever been to college before. No one in my family had ever gone to a university. No one in my family has ever probably made more than $50,000 a year in my family tree. So I was like, I'm not doing any of that. So I knew I wanted to be different. I just didn't know how, but I knew I was like hungry for more. And that's where a lot of this came from. So when you hear me be crazy, and like when you follow my social media, like, Eric and sees me and Kyle, you guys probably see me on LinkedIn and Instagram or whatever, you follow me, and I'm acting a fool, but bringing a lot of value and bringing like passion and wildness, because I just want to transfer that. I want to transfer energy to the world and like let people know, like, you literally can do absolutely anything, and you don't have to do anything just because like your parents say so, or your classmates say so, or just because like it looks good on your resume, or just because like it pays the bills. How many times you guys hear that from like parents or friends or whatever? Like, oh, how's your work? It pays the bills. How's your job? How's that marketing job? How's that finance? It pays the bills. It happens so much. So like just a big part of my message, I'll go more into it, but I just want to help people think differently, like think outside the box, like not just be like everybody else, because you can do so much. So anyways, I'll get into this, but I wanted to ask y'all too, what you guys want to do. Like, does anybody know like exactly? I know esports, finance, and wealth management. Anybody else? Eric, what about you? What do you?
Like some real estate stuff would be really cool. Like social media.
You're graduating, right? Or you're?
No, I'm a junior.
Junior. Okay.
So like social media marketing, real estate stuff would be really cool.
Yeah.
My own brokerage eventually would be pretty cool.
Hell yeah. That's all we do. Yeah. That's right up our alley. Kyle, what about you?
I'm a graduate. I'm an admissions counselor now.
What is it?
I'm an admissions counselor. I graduated last year.
No way! Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you.
How's it on campus? Like working with like students and then like helping them develop.
I have territory advantage, so I have 5 states I get to travel. And
oh shoot! Dang, that's cool. I love like mentoring and like being able to teach back. Like that's why I love this, because any mentoring or teaching, it's like I'm teaching myself. I'm mentoring myself. Like, you guys see me on social media, I do videos like every day. It's just me like regurgitating, like teaching myself really, and then just sharing that with the world. So I'll get into it, but I want to share too, because there's so much like bullshit on the internet and gurus or whatever. I just want to say like this isn't just another like TED talk, like saying like be vulnerable in the workplace. I mean, those things are important, of course. Like I didn't want you to think it's another Simon Sinek thing. You guys seen Simon Sinek? Which he's a G, of course, but it's just different. And I also didn't want everybody to think like, yeah, buy my course, right? Swipe up and buy my $5,000 course. It's not really going to teach you anything, but it'll allow me to pay for my leased Lambo for another weekend in South Beach. I'm not going to sell you on Bitcoin or my Bitcoin course. It's cool, do it if you like. And me too, what I'm not, because so many people like, look at how cool I am. Look at my Instagram. Like, look at my Lambo, whatever. Who's that? That's Floyd Money. I literally Googled 1 billion cash, and Floyd came up. Anyway, but people think like, look at me, look at the money I've made, look at this, like do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps because I did, and you can too. Like, in a way saying that, but not because I've accomplished anything. I've never even made $100,000 in a year yet. Next year I easily will with the systems I've set up with businesses and stuff, but I haven't. So like that's what most people, you see that guy, you see that stuff. Like every time I click on YouTube, it's another ad, some D-bag, trying to sell something that hasn't really actually built a business or anything. So anyways, just want to preface with that. I want to share some stuff that the recruiters aren't going to tell you. The general company, like you guys might have 50, 60-year-olds that come in and say like, yeah, work hard, or I don't know what they say, but just, I want to share you some stuff and some concepts, and this is just barely scratching the surface. Like text me, call me, LinkedIn, message me, whatever, and we can go more into it. But I just want to share that. And what I do specifically now, virtual real estate, investing in wholesaling, and a marketing company I just started, only a couple of small clients, which is, I was telling you guys earlier, it's so simple. You guys want a simple business, like especially like marketing or social media, dude, just go talk to some old people that have a laundromat or whatever, or even a local bank or something. Say, hey, who do you guys do? Who does your social media? Like, just post to them on Instagram every day, and they'll pay you like $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Anyways, that's what I'm doing. So I'm looking to hire maybe next year, hire like some part-time students as well for like marketing, if you want to do that. I added my queen, build an empire with my queen, Francesca there.
Me.
It's my queen. She's way more of a boss than I am. And still makes more money than me, but we'll see. So yeah, what do you guys want to do? But I asked that because most people like don't really know what they truly want to do. I've met thousands I talked to so many people. Like Kyle knows that. We got lunch one time. I've talked to so many people, and so many people don't really know. And I said, if time and money were not of essence, if your parents' opinions didn't matter, if your friends' opinions didn't matter, if you had all the time and money in the world, if Jeff Bezos wrote you a check for $1 billion, what would you do? And most people don't actually truly know. Like you might say, like, I want to be a portfolio manager or whatever that is. Like that's cool, but what do you like really truly want to do? If that's what you truly to your core want to do, cool. But most people don't really know. Like, oh well, I want to like get into this job. I want to get into corporate and do this. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you truly like really want to do? Is that something you love? And because I catch up with friends now, right? They've been in their jobs for 2-3 years now. My friends are like, yeah, just working, I'm like, how's your work? Like, what are you learning? Like, what are you working towards? Like, I don't know. It's cool. Pays the bills. Like, what are you really doing? Like, what do you really want to do? And that's kind of a big point of my message. Like, most people don't actually truly know, because most of you guys, some people want to be an astronaut when they're 8 years old. Like when you guys were 6, 8, 12, 16 years old, you wanted to be an astronaut. You wanted to be the next Jeff Bezos. You wanted to be, whatever. You wanted to be something crazy. You wanted to invent the next Facebook. But then for some reason, when you were 18, 20 years old, your parents told you to be realistic. Your professor told you to, whoa, you want to be you want to build a company in esports? What the hell is an esport? Like people like just tell you to be realistic, and then your dreams get knocked down most of the time. And so that's what I want to share too, is like, stop letting people tell you to be realistic, because you can do whatever the hell you want. We'll keep going. So the 3 things I want to chat about real quick is networking, branding, and leadership. And a lot of the reasons I've done anything is because of these things. And starting with networking, even when I didn't know anything and didn't know anybody, it was just because I put myself out there and met the people and had confidence and had good energy, and doors will just open for you. And then this year I put network is not your net worth, because we hear that so much. You always hear like, your network is your net worth. It's all about like who you know. But you could know everybody in the world, but if you don't actually build relationships and actually work with them and figure out ways to build business with them or build something with them or do anything, there's no point in knowing everybody. You can know Mark Cuban, or you can know Sarah Blakely, you can know Oprah, but if you don't actually build a relationship and leverage Oprah's network, it means nothing. So That's what I said here. Like you actually have to. Oh, is this a clicker, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick. Is it how you build and leverage your network is your net worth. Like how you actually taproot into people. That's what I said here. Maybe not the clicker.
That would have been cool.
It would have been really sick. Yeah, like I said, every opportunity I've come across, multiple businesses now, jobs, whatever, has just come from networking. And most people think like networking is like, oh, I follow somebody or I message somebody. Or networking is like, oh, well, I'm like in this club. Like this is great. Like business fraternity is the best thing ever. I was telling Michelle, right? I was like, if I go back to school, I would have definitely done business fraternity instead of like douchebag fraternity. Would have maybe turned out better. But anyways, that's really great networking. So you guys are like already kind of on the way there, but you have to get really intentional with networking because it can completely, I could tell crazy stories of like meeting this person, connecting the dots backwards. Like you can't always connect the dots going forward, but you can always connect the dots going backwards. Does anybody have like a networking story or like, dude, like how did you guys know each other? Like that's crazy. You know each other. I know him, and now we're like friends, and now we're business partners. And we like have any stories or connections? Like whoa, like everybody's connected. Anyway, but I could backtrack everything. Like I met this guy, I made this decision. Actually, this guy right here is the reason why I'm in the room because he introduced me when I'm my senior year of college to the first guy that I did my first business with. And I literally said like, no, I don't want to start a business or anything. Like I'm going to corporate. I started in corporate for Disney. I did sales marketing for Disney. I was like, no, I'm going to my corporate job. I don't want to do a business or anything. I'm getting a job. Little did I know, I only lasted 7 months in corporate before I left and did the business. But you know, one guy leads me to the next guy, leads me to the next business, the next partner, whatever. All these dots connected. I met my girlfriend of almost 2 years. We're building our empire, building our businesses together because of all these dots that connected. And now, literally because of, I'll show you too, like the network I've built and the brand and like just putting myself out there and meeting people. Now I got connected with a huge real estate investor that I'm partners with now. And I had no real estate experience. But because of my network, because I have a reputable brand and people, you know, maybe know me or vouch for me, he let me in to be a partner and help build this company with him. So anything can really happen with this. But I want to say too, like networking is really intentional. Like every time on LinkedIn, like I intentionally connect people, great to connect with you and make conversation. And if people are duds, like I don't continue the conversation. But if I really connect with someone and I feel like I could share some value or exchange value or get to know them, like you guys, I would do free Zoom calls for no reason for you guys or grab coffee with you in Tampa because like it might seem like a waste of time or like, oh man, I got to go out of my way. I got to message someone. I got to like be awkward and ask them to do a Zoom call or get to know each other or grab coffee. And then I got to take time to get ready, actually put maybe a real shirt on and go to the coffee shop. But like pouring into that person or like getting to know someone at a deeper level and exchanging some value and getting to know each other could lead to anything because every person could lead you to anybody. And I want to share here too, networking is really getting out and meeting people. Like most people don't actually do it. Like the opportunity never comes. The job they want never comes. The business never comes. The spouse they desire never comes. Because now everybody sits on their ass at home and sits on TikTok and never, whatever it is, and never gets out and just games. I'm all about gaming and your passion. I'm not saying about esports. Okay, I love esports. But I'm saying like everybody sits at home and is so virtual now and doesn't get out there and actually meet people and shake hands and exchange energy and have good vibes. That's why I do monthly and I was doing weekly. Oh my gosh, that was a lot. Now I do monthly networking events. It's been awesome. It's brought me everybody in Tampa, business partners, clients. Like it's amazing. So get out there and do it. I have networking events monthly too. So you can hit me up for that if you want to come meet more business people. We do a lot of real estate people, insurance people, finance people, all come together and hang out. Like this was at Birchwood, Canopy Birchwood in St. Pete rooftop. Dope place, have fun. That was our last one. And we have a Christmas party in 2 weeks. But that's really it, building real relationships and knowing that it might not immediately pay off. And most people expect like that immediate payoff. I shake this guy's hand because I want something from him. Like that's what most people like think. Even that's not saying it's a bad thing, but that's kind of our default. But if we can think like, wow, if I just build a relationship with him, maybe in 3 years we could build a company together. Maybe in 3 years, like I'll be at a barbecue and this guy or this gal will introduce me to like my future spouse. I don't know. But everybody's really connected. Like all of us in the Zoom are somehow connected by a few degrees. There's only like 5 or 6 degrees. Like, you know somebody that knows somebody, knows somebody, knows somebody, and we're connected. It's crazy. We could trace it. If I talk to you guys long enough, we could find out who we know, or your classmate knows, my friend from school, whatever, something like that. But everybody really is connected, and every quality connection. If I meet one quality person, this kind of changed my thinking too. If I meet one person, if I meet Michelle or Shelly, Colin, Eric, whatever, I meet one quality person. That one quality person could lead you, open this doorway to 100 quality people. So that's really the mindset to have, and that changed a lot for me, because it might not be that initial person, but it might be that person that knows that person, introduce you to that person, and it could change your whole world and change your whole life, like it has for mine, in just such a short time. You guys do like any like mixers or like social, something like that?
Not with like other.
Oh yeah, like kind of within.
Yeah. Within we do a bunch of different stuff.
Cool. Are there any other business clubs, like a marketing club or like a
Yeah. So like this semester, like I hosted like a networking event with like entrepreneurship, real estate, AMA.
Yeah.
So I had all of them in a room, and I basically did like a speed dating kind of thing where you talk one-on-one and you rotate to talk to other people.
That's awesome. That's huge. Yeah. I mean, it's just that, like, it's simple, but literally learning how to just have a cool conversation with people, a stranger you've never met before, is like foreign. It's weird. Like, I live in over here in Channelside, and I'm in an elevator, like 20 floors. So you're next to a person like this for like 30 seconds to a minute, and everyone like, "Hey, good morning. How are you?" And people are like, "Why are you talking to me? Like, I don't even know you. Why are you even like looking at me?" And people are so weird about it. I'm like, just be nice, just smile. Like, how to win friends and influence people as a number one, I think just smile, like smile at people. Like, it's such a foreign thing, but if you can just have a conversation and be cool with strangers and meet them and share good energy, dude, you're already like top 5%. Be like, oh yeah, we're gonna be 1%er, dude. You're already like 5-10% for sure. If you can just be a normal, and I don't quote unquote normal, I'm a freak, but just have a cool conversation with people that puts you way ahead. Like most of my jobs and businesses and stuff, I'm not qualified for. Like, dude, I skimmed by at the business school at UF, and I got into Disney, like working there in corporate. I wasn't like qualified. I didn't have like a resume. I didn't even have like barely any good internships, but just because of like just networking, just like putting my face out there, putting my name out there, meeting the people and spending time with this person that could lead me to this person, it just happened. Like I literally drove to the Orlando the Disney corporate offices like multiple times just to hang out with the managers and the execs, just to get to know them and just put my face out there and put my name out there. Like, wow, this kid like drove down. Like he's kind of serious. Rather than if they offer you like a virtual interview or something, or like virtual mixer, I guess it's probably been the thing the last couple of years especially. But like if you can drive there and hang out with people, because there's just it will never, like Zoom is great and FaceTime or whatever, but it will just never replace this, like feeling energy and transferring that. Like if we're on Zoom right now, you'd be looking at like my kitchen counter and like our zucchini tacos or something, and it'd be weird. But anyways, the key to all of these, like networking, branding, company, whatever, is just adding crazy value, figuring out how to add. That's what I've been doing so much the past year. How can I add more free value to the world? Like how can I add free value to every person I meet without expecting anything in return? Because for a while, I always wanted to, like, I was in every club at school and meeting people because I like wanted something. I wanted this role in this club because I wanted something out of it. I wanted to meet this person because I was like, well, they know people. So like, if I hang out with them, if I go drink with them or whatever, then maybe I'll get in or like get something out of it. And so I went that shift like the past year or two of just like adding value to people. Like no one, posting on social media 5 times a day and videos and all this stuff, like taking time to that, no one pays me for it. I mean, kind of indirectly, but when I post a reel, when I post a picture, post on LinkedIn every day, like no one directly pays me for it, but I know if I just meet enough people and add enough free value to the world, it will come back to me. If I help enough people get what they want, I will get all that I want and more. So just not expecting any returns. Really, really key networking. All right, branding is my favorite. So you guys see this shit? We're all really young. Like even I'm too young for this. Oh, too young. When is this? Is it season 1 of the Kardashians? Was this probably like 2008?
Probably. Yeah.
2006? I don't know. Anyway, it's crazy because you could say like, yeah, like Kim Kardashian made a sex tape and her dad was like in OJ's case in like the 90s, but still like no one knew them. Like they weren't on the map or anything, but literally also because of, it's the next slide. I was like going to tell the whole story. The Kardashians were like created, like the Kardashians as we know, like the brand and stuff like that, because of Ryan Seacrest. So they were networking and somehow one of them, I forgot which one, maybe probably, I think it was Kim, like met Ryan Seacrest at a bar or something and was chatting with him, whatever. So they connected and Ryan Seacrest literally made the Kardashians. You know Ryan Seacrest, right? Like American Idol, whatever. American Idol, damn, that's a throwback. But Ryan Seacrest literally made them because they were networking. Like, I mean, Kim was probably throwing her ass around or something, but met Ryan Seacrest, and Ryan Seacrest was like, "Oh, these people are crazy. We got to go like shoot at their house, like video them, whatever." So that's how that was made through networking. But then the branding side, their whole life is like obviously that's the extreme of branding that I'm showing here, but that's what's capable. Like that's the possibility of just literally getting your name and your face out to the world. Like anything can happen, and that's what I'm doing. That's my goal now. Like I do want to be famous. I do want the world to see me because the more people that I can reach on social media or the metaverse or whatever's going to come, I want the more people that I can reach, the more people that I can touch, the more people that I can add free value to, and I know it will come back to me in one way or another, and I can have more of an impact. Like there's only if no one knows you, there's only so much of an impact you can have, and if you only make money yourself, like it's just not fulfilling. Like I've made some money, I've lost some money, or whatever, but if I'm not helping other people make money, if I'm not helping other people like solve problems, like shit gets boring. Like you can have money and like sit by yourself, no one knows you. I don't know, it's just not a life that I really desire. But anyways, even just from the show, like just from like the networking and like just being brave enough to get your face and your name out there and have the world watch you and stuff. Just from the show, I mean, they've probably made like 10 billion as a family. Just from the show, like the views and stuff, 2 billion. And just because Ryan Seacrest took time out to get to know these people, even though he's busy, he's got American Idol, he's got radio shows, he's got this, he's got that. He was open to meeting these crazy people, spending time with them. And Ryan Seacrest has made, on average, $75 million a year from the Kardashians. Wow. I could do a little bit with 75 million a year because he networked with them and then he put their face and their brand out to the world, and now they're obviously billionaires. Kyler's the youngest billionaire, I think. So anyways, that's what's capable, what's possible. And also branding and putting yourself out there. And once you build a brand, once people know your face, know your name, like, dude, she could come out with Q-tips or something, Kylie Q-tips, and they would sell out, and she'd make $4 billion or something stupid because of the branding. Mm-hmm. And also, a good point to point out about them is that the other ones aren't billionaires because they have the brand attached to them, but they weren't ambitious enough to like run businesses and do that themselves. So like, yes, you could say like, oh yeah, Kylie Jenner was born into billions, but she wasn't a billionaire. These other girls aren't. Or like, I think Kim is now, right?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Kim's a billionaire.
Enough of the Kardashians, but you guys get the point. Branding's just super, super powerful. Besides like the Kardashians thing, this is actually my favorite one by Jay-Z. You guys know it well. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. And it's so fire, and it's like so much of my life because I want you want to build equity in yourself. You guys know like building equity in companies, right? Or like acquiring equity in companies and stuff so you can like share revenue, stuff like that.
Take a drink.
Am I clapping? Is my mouth clapping?
He needs a drink.
I didn't have any Adderall today. Don't do drugs. But this is so good because if you build equity in yourself, anything can happen. Like if you build equity in yourself, you as your human being, you are valuable. With your network and your branding, you as a human being will be more valuable and you'll be more desired. Like companies will want you. That's when you can literally like come into a company and actually get equity in a company or something like that. But just branding yourself, then you can have whatever you want. Anyways, but like Jay-Z is a billionaire, not because of his music. He's only made like 100 million or 200 million from his music, but because he said like, I have so much value to the world, I can do anything. So he has real estate businesses, like restaurant businesses, hotel businesses, because he knows that the value that he can bring and his smarts and his network that he brings to the table, he is himself is worth so much that he can have 12 different businesses in different industries. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is my first time doing this thing, so hope it works. Jeff, you guys know this guy? You see the video of him doing his yacht and off of like Greece or something with like the Jeff Bezos song? You know that?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
How's it go, Jeff Bezos?
No, I haven't.
Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos. Anyways, your brain is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So like your brain is like what the words or the character or the reputation and stuff that people would say. So like if people don't know you, you don't have everybody does have a brain to an extent, but like your brain is like your character, your brain is your integrity, your brain is your message and your story. And I think that's really, really good because like that's like Amazon isn't just like a company and a product. Like he's freaking changed the world. Like that's a brand. Do you guys know that guy? Yeah, seriously though, this is really important. Personally, branding yourself can set you apart so much because I'm gonna say this at the end too. Everybody has a degree. It's good that you have a degree. Like you've met some people, you've taken some exams and stuff. Everybody has a degree. Everybody has gone to school. Everybody knows a couple people, but what has literally set me apart and why I've had opportunities when I'm underqualified and I don't even belong in that industry or belong in that business is because of a personal brand. Is because I've connected with some people, poured into people, taprooted into their networks and met their people, and then branding myself so people can back check me if they meet me at a networking event or a party or whatever. People can act cool and like be cool when you meet them, but like, okay, well, let me look at this guy's social media. Let me get your card, or I don't have cards. I figure just give people my LinkedIn and Instagram and stuff. But then you backtrack. You're like, okay, let me check this. You guys know if you're out at a party or even at a networking event or something like that, you meet someone, you shake their hand, you get their social media, you get their card or whatever. And then you kind of like backtrack. You're like, okay, who is this guy? Like, he's actually legit. So then when people backcheck and they see after they met me, like, oh, that guy's kind of, suave, or I like to think that, or like this guy has good energy, loves everybody. And then people go back to my social media, then they follow me, and then they can't help. Like, then they start clicking on my stuff. And then the algorithm helps me out sometimes, and they can't get away from me. And they're like, oh man, I got to get off Instagram. I can't get away from Cody. So they go to LinkedIn. Oh shit, there he is too. I can't get away from him. So then people are following me, see my stuff, like, oh wow, like this guy's legit. Even if people don't like me, they're like, this guy shows up every day and he's on a mission. And because of when people can see that, like you will stand out. Like your employers or partners or businesses will see like LinkedIn, Instagram, stuff like that. It really is important. But unfortunately, even in college, like I posted stuff, but it was, stupid college stuff. It wasn't as productive. So that's a big thing for me. Like you guys can start now. Like there's freshmen, right? Freshmen. Yeah. Sophomores, juniors, seniors, it doesn't even matter. Any age, right now. Start posting stuff. Start finding what you love. You love esports? Dude, post everything about esports. Educate. I don't know about esports, but if I follow you, you can educate me. You can entertain me a little bit, show some funny videos, show some esports clips or whatever. And then maybe I fall in love with esports, and maybe in 5 years, I want to join you in your esports business. But like, if you never post anything, you'll never reach me, and I would never know. So like, anybody else have like a niche like that? I have real estate, finance, different things, and we have like a different. Anyways, but like even if you love real estate, bro, like post everything about real estate. Oh my gosh, Ryan Serhant, we love Ryan Serhant. You know Ryan Serhant, but he's a huge broker in New York City. He's famous. He's got shows. He's got books. Gotta look him up. He's a boss. But he has a huge brand, and you can post anything about repost other people's stuff, man. Like people think you have to be a content creator. I've gotten half of like my following and brand, repost. Remember we did that, started it last year. Repost other people's stuff. Like you can just text me, message me. I'll show you how to like repost and do social media stuff if you want, but put it out there because you can meet anybody, man. Like LinkedIn has brought me so many amazing people. I'll show you my LinkedIn at the end and stuff. Most of you guys follow me, but I started out with nothing. Like just earlier this year, I made a LinkedIn in like college just because like I had to put my resume on there or something, but I never did anything with it until this year. I was like, yo, LinkedIn is like the shizit. It's crazy what you can meet and like just the people you can reach on there, and no one posts on there. You guys probably only post on LinkedIn when you say like blessed and humbled and honored to be a marketing intern this summer, and then you don't click on it for another year until you need a job. So if you post on there, like people will see you because no one else posts on there. It's not like Instagram. Anyways, I'm getting carried away. Greatest era in the world. Here we go. Best time because I was up there. Anyways, yeah, my partner Ryan. I had no real estate experience, none. I've never been an agent. I've never actually done. I've read the books. I've watched videos on real estate stuff like that, but I had no experience. But because someone referred me for us to meet, he said, you got to meet this kid, man. He's all over social media. I think he'd be good for your business, whatever. Literally his girlfriend, wife, reached out. I was like, you guys gotta meet, whatever. So we met, started chatting earlier this year. Recently, it was only like a month, 2 months ago, and now we're working together because he saw my brand. He saw people vouching for me. But if I never posted on social media, I would have never gotten that recommendation. I would have never gotten that referral. He would never know me. No one would ever know me, and I probably have to like work a job I hate. I'm just kidding. But greatest area in the world because you can. We got 7%. That's when we stop when Eric's laptop dies. Best time in the world, give free. This shit is free. Like I'm just trying to get this across. Like social media is free. LinkedIn is free. This is free advertising. Did I break the thing? Eric,
The passion came through and broke the computer.
Oh my gosh. Did I unplug it? You know how to get stuff on?
Yeah.
I'm almost done. Let me get checked. Anyways, I'm saying like everything is free. Like if anybody's parents go to like college or business school, any of your parents in business, like the business and stuff. When our like parents or grandparents and at any time before, if you wanted to like get your name out there, dude, you had to like pay for an ad in the newspaper. If you wanted to hire somebody, can you imagine that? Like we can't even really like register time before phones and everything and social media. But there was a time when for a business, for anyone to learn about your business, you had to either literally physically go drive around town and like talk to people and like tell them about your business, which is still very important. Or you had to pay to get on TV, which is millions of billions of dollars or whatever. Or you had to literally like pay for the newspaper or the radio. Radio, bro. Can you imagine like that's the marketing? Going on the radio station, local radio station. Anyways, this is free. Like it's free real estate all over social media to do this. It's free services. It's great. Anyway, changed my life, and I just want to really encourage that because social media content creation and personal branding is still in the baby stages. Like it seems so big now because we follow like the big idols, right? Like, and we have like an entrepreneur or someone you look up to, like I don't know, Oprah, Sarah Blakely, Mark Cuban, any of these big people we look up to. Like, wow, like look at them. Like I'm too late. Oh man, I should have started posting on Instagram like 5 years ago. Damn, I should have gotten into Bitcoin like 6 years ago. When I was in like 8th grade, it would have cost me $6. So people always say, like, oh man, it's too late. So I'm just gonna let those big people do big things. But it's still such in the baby stages. All this like is so baby. It's such in the infant stages of still content creation and personal branding. We can still jump on this, and you can still really make it. And this is projected. I don't know if my chart is really good because it's almost the same. But by 2030, it's projected that people will earn, like in the I think this is just in the U.S. $38.2 billion from social media, from content creation. So it could be a business or an individual human through company branding or personal branding, but it's huge and it's only really going up and crazy from here. Like imagine like this metaverse thing. You guys probably know more than I do, but like put goggles on and you like go around the virtual world. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes, but there's so much possibility and they're not too late. We always think too, like, oh man, I should have started doing Instagram Reels last year. Or should have done more. We always think like, oh man, I should have gotten into it earlier. But we always, us too. Like our circle was here, but we always like, oh man, if only in college, bro, if we just started investing and like doing social media in college, we'd be rich by now. We always say that, but like we're still all babies in the room, and there's so much potential. So I'll keep going. But LinkedIn, best platform if you're gonna choose anywhere to start, LinkedIn. I'm telling you, because you guys want to get hired, you want to go into business, whatever, because nobody is like go on my LinkedIn and there's like 2 or 3 posts and videos and stuff every day. And I don't have millions of followers, whatever. I started this year with no followers. I'm almost at 3,000. I'm gonna try to get to 3,000 this month, but started out with like nothing. And just because I just post, like it at least attracts people to look. And if people find your stuff or meet you and then they go on your LinkedIn and there's nothing there, you don't have like, there's only so much value that they see, perceived value that they see there. So anyways, if you choose anything before Instagram or TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, like LinkedIn, I'm telling you, I'm trying to get everybody on it. LinkedIn should start. Actually, LinkedIn does not pay me to say this. They should though, because I bring them a lot of business. But seriously, best platform because, on Instagram, it's all, the girls in bikinis, Lambos or whatever. So it's very saturated, but LinkedIn, no one posts regular stuff. You only post on LinkedIn if you're hiring or if you got a job right? So really take advantage of that. Eric actually found me on LinkedIn, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and you can meet anybody. You can even meet Eric. Where is it thing here? Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah.
Don't miss Jim.
You see Jim?
That's the computer's dying, babe.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, the most important part, I really want, if you don't listen to anything, like, just take some deep breaths and just like sort of hone back in. And now I'm like going crazy, but so good. All right. This is the most important part because none of this shit matters. College doesn't matter if you don't take advantage of this last part. It doesn't matter how much Instagram followers you have and LinkedIn followers. It doesn't matter how much of a brain you have. None of this stuff matters if you don't grow yourself. A lot of people see me now and think I'm confident or think I'm like doing really well or something, but it's only because I will only make it. I will only be a millionaire, billionaire. I want to build companies. I want to be Forbes. I want to be all those things because that will help me reach the world and help more people. But any of that will only happen because I've worked so hard on myself. Ever since I graduated 2.5 years ago, I've just straight gone to work on myself. I've worked really hard on the job. My first job I had, it was a corporate job at Disney. On my businesses since then, I'm trying to build 2 companies now. I work hard on that stuff, but I work way hard on myself. Anytime I'm literally not doing an actual like work task or work thing, I'm reading, I'm listening. We started, she got me on Tim Grover. Tim Grover was the trainer and coach for Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And he has a couple books, but his most recent one is called Winning. So good. I have some book recommendations too. I'll share. But I was listening I cried this morning. I'm like driving to the office, listening to this book, but that was a random story. But I'm saying that because I've worked so hard on myself to develop myself so much harder than on my job or my business. And those results won't show up yet. If you start doing meditating tomorrow morning and journaling and reading a book and listening to podcasts and networking, no one's going to pay you for this stuff yet. You're not going to see immediate gratification. You're going to post, even if you post on LinkedIn 30 days straight, 30 posts in 30 days on LinkedIn, you're not going to see the results yet. You guys know that if you're obese and then you go to the gym 1 day or 3 days, you're not going to have a 6-pack. Everybody knows that, right? So a lot of people can apply these concepts like growth over time, consistency and discipline, like gym all day, every day. I got to go to Crunch Fitness, or you guys have a gym here on campus, whatever. I'm just going to grind. But people know in the gym and their bodies, if they do sit-ups or if they do crunches or whatever for 6 months, then they'll see some solid progress. You can change your body. But for some reason, I don't know why, man, people can't translate that same concept of consistency and discipline over time with like as they do in like a gym or fitness, because you can kind of physically see it in your body. They can't translate that into personal development, into your leadership development, into your personal professional growth and development. So that's if you don't grasp anything, just try to grasp this, because you can't. There's only a capacity. You will always reach a limit in your relationships. If you want a happy, healthy life, like someday we're gonna get married, someday we'll have kids, whatever. If you want a happy life, even happy dating relationships, mental health, physical health, like none of that will come if you don't work on yourself. Like people are like, oh man, like I always have psycho girlfriends. I used to say that. Oh, my ex-girlfriends are psychos. Whoa, isn't that kind of like a pattern, right? Like if you have like, she was psycho, she was psycho, oh wait, I have an issue with psycho girl, issue, it's you. I'm like, it's true that, I mean, I'm not saying that maybe that's not the case for you or whatever, but you will only reach a limit in your life, in your business, in your health, in your well-being, in your family, whatever it is, if you don't grow yourself. Like if you want to be a business person, you want to grow, you want to have a great career, you will only, let's say, make $80,000 a year if that is your growth and development level. You will always hit a ceiling. Sometimes you might get lucky. Sometimes you might go to Hard Rock Casino and you might hit a big one time, or you might get a lucky jump in your commissions. You will always come back down to where your growth is, always. And you can't cheat that. Unfortunately, I wish you could. I wish I could say that you don't have to read books, you don't have to podcast, you don't have to do all this stuff that no one is going to see, but that's winning. That is success. is the shit that people don't see. Not this. Not this isn't success and this isn't winning. Success and winning is doing the shit that no one will ever see in your room, in your dorm room, in your apartment, getting up early, just paying attention, listening to podcasts, meeting people, the networking, stuff that people won't see most time on social media. That is winning and that is success. And take this with a grain of salt because you can listen to someone else, maybe say something completely different, but I've studied hard a lot of wealthy people, the successful people, the happy people, the healthiest people, the yogis, the billionaires, whatever it is. You'll see common denominators, and that is the little tiny little things that no one sees, and it doesn't even add up. You don't see it yet, and no one else really notices it, but they will over time. In 5 years, when people, maybe I get my first jet, or I have a show and all this stuff, and I'm speaking around arenas around the world, people be like, oh man, he must have got lucky. He might have just must have got lucky at the bar and met the right person, get him on TV. He must have got lucky. Oh, he made 10 million this year? Yeah, he must be scamming people, like those guys on YouTube and Instagram. Yeah. No, they didn't see what I was doing the past 5 to 10 years. They didn't see the shit that I went through, crying when I was broke. Like, anyway, I'll move on before I do a whole story. But
Yes, let's.
all right. Thank you for. See, that's why I had to set a timer. We need to set a timer. Anyways,
I'm here. I'm the timer. Time's up.
the point is, you guys are gonna go. You're gonna have internships. You probably have jobs now. When you have your quote unquote real jobs, your corporate jobs, and those things. Work harder outside of the 9 to 5 hours. You can work your ass off 9 to 5, but it will only get you so far. And all the people you idolize, all the cool, sick people in the world that you idolize and think they're really cool and want to be, they didn't get to where they are just by working hard on the job. You got to work hard on yourself. Babe, look, I put this on there from Tim Grover today.
So good.
If winning were a map, everyone would be up there, but they're not. And so many people too have like 5 steps to success. You guys hear this stuff. Do these 10 things a day. And sometimes I do videos like that just to help be brief, but 5 steps to success or 10 steps to success. And that's cute, but like if it was like that, everybody would do it. If it was 5 simple steps. The steps to winning are infinite. Always changing and shifting. 1 minute you see a step in front of you, the next it's quicksand. Most people don't see that missing step until it's too late. They get sucked into the quicksand and give up. Winning doesn't care if you can walk up the steps. Anyone can do that. As I was saying, everybody has a degree. Everybody has these some basic stuff. So winning does not care, reaching real levels of success. Winning wants to know what happens when you miss that step, when you can't see or feel what's in front of you, when you have to trust yourself and believe what you feel, not what you see. And I can vouch for this so hard the past couple of years, and even now, believing what I can't see is faith, regardless of, whether it's faith in, most people think of faith like religion, faith in Jesus, faith in, Buddhism, whatever it is. But faith too in physical life, faith of believing what you can't see yet, faith in believing that you can build an esports company and no one would ever believe you. Most people will turn that stuff down. You want to be Van Gogh, you want to be an artist, most people will turn that down because they can't see it, but you have to feel it and trust that and believe in what you can't even see yet, and that's faith. We'll keep going. Anyways, here's some book recommendations. Really start like some simple ones. We don't have to get too foo-foo, but I would say if anything, just start with the Compound Effect. It's actually way smaller than that. It's like 50, 100 pages maybe. Super short and brief and easy, but that is the little stuff I'm talking about, like little tiny habits that no one will see and you won't even make progress, like little tiny habits that eventually just compound and explode in your life. And that's how people go from 50,000 a year, 50,000 a year, 50,000 a year, work on their business, 50,000 a year, work on themselves and their business. And then boom, that's how you see overnight success. You guys have heard of overnight success, right? Oh man, look at that guy, he's an overnight success. Most overnight successes took 10 years, 20 years of hard-ass work. Athletes or business people or whatever, all the same. Compound Effect. This is my friend, Gary C. Laney. Actually, a really good book. This one's linked here like 300 or 400 pages. This one goes into more depth of like building and becoming a person of influence, like networking and branding yourself. So I got some stuff from him. He's really good. We actually met via LinkedIn. He's really cool. And then the co-author, Brian Esposito, met through Francesca. She knew his wife. We had dinner with them in Atlanta a couple months ago. So that's the power of LinkedIn. That's the power of networking and branding. putting yourself out there. You get to meet cool ass people that have done really cool things, CEOs and authors and all this stuff. So that was really cool. You're a Badass is a popular one. Atomic Habits, you guys probably seen that one too. James Clear, really, really good. But those are just really good, like basic foundation stuff that everybody looks over. So that's me. You guys like have my LinkedIn too. Just look me up on LinkedIn. Any social media, Instagram's all the same. Facebook's the same. If you guys want to Zoom, you want to text, cool. Let's hang out. Networking events, stuff like that, I always do. So I want to serve you guys. I mean, this is crazy too. There's only 10 of you guys, so I want to get to know you if I can help in any way. I do all the social media stuff. I'm starting an actual podcast in January. Like I can start like new year. But that'll be like a building. Like this is like so brief, and I can barely scratch the surface. Obviously, we could be in here for 7 days straight, but the podcast will be like 5 to 10 minutes of breaking down like all these little lessons, little things, little. Because most podcasts, you guys listen to podcasts, anybody? You probably listen to people that have like been super successful, right? All these people like, oh yeah, for the last 20, 30 years, I built this business and now I'm a billionaire, whatever. But I want to show people what it's like now, like young people like you guys, young people in the trenches, young people in the process, like in the present, and not like looking back and like, oh yeah, I'm a billionaire. I did all this cool stuff on the podcast, but real stuff in real time. So that's what it'll be like. So yeah, tune in all that stuff. But I want to get to know you guys more, and if I can help in any way, please let me know. So
Good job, baby.
thank you guys. I'll turn off my lives. Everybody probably blocked me.
That was good, Cody.
Thank you so much for